How's everybody feeling? You didn't have your heart ripped out of your chest cavity by the Arizona Cardinals this weekend. That feels pretty good, right? That's a win. Cardinals did make some surprise roster moves today ahead of what could be a pivotal week, Johnny, as they return from bye.
This team couldn't hurt me for the weekend. Main train here is the Cardinals open up a pivotal showdown with the Dallas Cowboys. It's Monday Night Football. We break it down. Plus, what's going on with these releases? And is this the last stand for JG and Kyler Murray? PHNX Cardinals start now. Hey, welcome in. Studio K, presented by our dear friend at Circle K. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier #1 Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny. He's Bo. Noah's behind the mic. It almost feels like a fresh start, a second season, if you will. And then you look at the standings and you see the Cardinals top 10 in the draft standings, Bo.
Yeah, all the way down there. Not great. Not great. The rest of the NFC West, they did take a little bit of a hit. It was nice to see the Niners take an L on Sunday. But vocal cords all rested up. That was a way to start
about the one I did Friday on the pre-record that we had to redo. Might have been sounded like I was being stabbed. It was one of the worst, one of the worst lives in the history of this show.
It was bad, but look, maybe fresh start. Everybody needed it. A couple days off, and you certainly benefited from it. We benefit every time that this show is presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. Use the promo code PHNX365 and deposit $10. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. Bet365. Cannot wait for this one. I love seeing the chat light up with your supporter emojis, the Johnny Chug, the lives, the me putting my head in my hands, but also great to just see everybody here. Ken Weber, I saw checking in. Dylan Richardson, Mike, Corey the Stew, Jacob, Steven Jackson, Kojad, Bonnie, Brockable, love it, Shaft, of course, and then Dad's drinking again. That's the name in the chat, not what Johnny's kids are saying. When Johnny's watching the Cardinals play football. But welcome, everybody. We're back. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, this show is absolutely just juiced.
Jam-packed. And listen, might be some sad boys here. We'll see how this week progresses. I thought there was a presser today. And then Bo's like, no, Gannon talks tomorrow. It's like, okay, thanks. Fair enough. So JG tomorrow. So typically Monday we get the JG presser at 2:45 with my handsome co-host there, Bo Brack in Tempe. But Gannon and everybody, they get an extra day. It's weird to have a bye week and then to play on Monday Night Football. So it's like they've been off for a long time. They play a week from today. That has not changed this team churning through this roster. So we're going to break down the state of what's ahead for JG and Kyler Murray specifically, and why I don't think the bye week was kind to the Arizona Cardinals. But we got to start off with some breaking news. Beep, beep, beep. Right before the show, the Cardinals made not one, but 2 transactions that we think we understand. And Bo, you reported this on X, formerly known as Twitter. But the surprising of the two, Michael Carter, who has been like low-key starting for this team since Trey Benson has been hurt, he was cut today. He was released by the Cardinals outright. What can you tell us?
Yeah, farewell, sweet prince. Michael Carter, fan favorite, no doubt about it. It's been in the organization since about this time in 2023. They picked him up from the Jets, and he produced season 1, season 2, when he got a little bit of time at the end of the year after being practice squad for the most part. And then he saw some action this year, 30-plus snaps just the other game. Out-snapped by Bam Knight by just like 5, I think, like 37-32. And then he was just given his walking papers today. the veteran running back Michael Carter and safety Darren Hall were both unceremoniously let go by the organization. Johnny, it just seems like they are making way for a couple roster moves to be made because it's not a normal week. So they can hit the practice field tomorrow with the team that they're going to probably use come Monday Night Football. Instead of Wednesday, the roster moves need to be made as early as tomorrow. So I'd assume we'll see some players go from having their practice window open to the active roster because that window is closing and they need to be. And then also I think a player might not need a roster spot immediately, but would have his practice window open and you would need a spot inevitably.
How is, like, I see it in the chat and I agree with this. Like, you and I feel like we understand what this is a precursor to. I think we both expect Walter Nolen to be activated.
Yes.
So Walter Nolen will be activated tomorrow. And I think you think Garrett Williams is going to be activated. We got tipped off.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be activated. I don't know if they're just going to like skip ahead because they could have the luxury of just opening up his practice window and then, seeing how things go without having him add him to the practice to the active roster.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be just another move unless they just like, he's good to go. He's good to go. And let's just add him back.
I had heard he was trending toward playing like right after the bye. I think we reported that early last week.
Here's what they could do, Johnny, is like, because they do have Keaton Slovis still on the roster.
Oh no.
And that's an easy cut. That's an easy cut. So maybe you open up the practice window for Garrett Williams. Who else? Has anybody else had their practice window open?
What about B.J. Ojulari?
Hasn't had his practice window open.
Sorry, I didn't answer that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of who they could potentially add to the active rep. Maybe it's just a straight up signing.
Okay. So like Walter Nolen, we'll talk about it. We feel like he's going to get activated. He's going to play against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Garrett Williams, there's a decent chance that he plays against the Cowboys. Darren Hall cut.
Yes.
So you would assume like corner for corner. They have like how many defensive linemen now? But the problem now becomes, let's assume those are the two moves.
Yeah.
Who's playing running back until Trey Benson is back? And I saw a lot of people connect the dots like, well, Trey Benson will just come back. Well, he can't come back for at least another week.
Right.
And like, I'm sorry, Trey Benson tore his meniscus. He had to have meniscus surgery. He's just going, he'll be back to play against the Seahawks, week from Sunday. Oh, perfect. Guy who tore his meniscus, get him right back out there. I think that is not the answer at all. I was always under the assumption, like Schefter had tweeted out like 4 to 6 weeks at the beginning of October, but then you have to put a caveat and asterisk on that because it's Cardinal time. We know how Cardinal time operates. Go ahead and double that. I think like best case scenario, like Trey Benson is easing his way back in like sometime in mid-November, but like they need to win games yesterday. Is Bam Knight and DeMercado, is that doing it for you? Just two running backs?
It's going to have to, and then they could elevate Dearness Johnson like they did the previous week. And they've got running backs on, in the organization. Like if you just look at, who they employ, they've got guys that, along with DeMercado and Bam Knight, they also have guys like, Jamar Jefferson, who's on the squad as well. So
all the household names. Yes.
He's not bad.
Jamar Jefferson, you're aware of his game?
Yes, he was on the Lions for many years.
Stop lying to our audience, Noah. Stop giving our audience false hope.
But
do I need to suit up? People are saying
there isn't like the allure and the luster of Michael Carter's worn off. Hasn't it? I mean, 2.8 yards per carry, watching him in pass pro get dominated by, oncoming, blitzing defender. Like you don't have with the running game being down as much as it has been, like we don't see much that we saw from Michael Carter in previous years. And then Darren Hall with 15 snaps played, it's like, okay, Garrett Williams is coming back, just make way for the better player.
Well, I mean, Kyler Murray left this team 2 games ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 games ago, and he's still leading the team in rushing and with his return poised for a week from today. So what does that tell you? I mean, it's just nothing's worked well. I mean, they're averaging as a team like 4.4 yards per clip, but Kyler's rushing yards have skewed that exponentially. Like, Trey Benson was at 5.5, but again, 160 yards, small sample size. Bam Knight's been okay, 3.5. Michael Carter, as you mentioned, 2.8. James Conner, didn't look like himself, 3 yards per clip before he went down. I mean, a lot of it is the byproduct of this offensive line disappointing. So that's kind of where I'm at. Here's what I'll like. Go ahead.
Guys, I mean, I think there's a good chance that both Michael Carter and Darren also could re-land on the practice squad as early as tomorrow. And like they would be in the, it could be just roster gymnastics as far as maybe somebody was in danger of being, plucked off the practice squad that they might need to hold on to. We'll see what happens. So
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because I like the Cardinals, the way they want to play, they have to be able to run the ball. Like they're not going to abandon that completely. Kyler Murray needs a running game. Do you think, even with the state of this team and this roster and this record, most importantly, do you think the team could trade for a running back? Because before you poo-poo that idea, in 2019, during or 2020, I'm sorry, during the COVID year, maybe it was the year before. It was the year before that. It was Kingsbury's first year.
Yeah.
David Johnson was hurt. I think Chase Edmonds was on that team. He was banged up. And they said, well, we just want to be able to field a team so we can do what we want to do. And they traded for Kenyon Drake for like a 6th rounder. And it was a good trade. They shouldn't have tagged him in the offseason. But like they made a trade to say like, okay, we need to still be able to run our offense.
Right.
I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility to like in a season in which like they're telling us they're close. I don't think you're trading top 100 draft picks, but I think if you could get a running back to help carry the workload in November and December as you're trying to prove a point, Ossenfort's earned that. Like, we're going to assess everything in January. Is if Ossenfort and Gannon want to ship out a 5th or a 6th round pick for somebody to come in here and help, like I'm not gonna say that that's a bad decision. Actually, I think I would rather see that than the team kind of spindle with a bunch of practice squad running backs. So I think they could do something like that.
Yeah, it's the running back move that I don't think people were anticipating, like which running back was going to get cut as
right.
But the team is making moves, and they're starting to like trim the fat, and they're bringing back players that they feel like can make an impact on both sides of the football. Like I know you probably thought like, hey, a bigger statement would have been cutting the guy that caused a lot of this pain.
And that's
being
those are bad optics too.
Right. But no, I don't think anybody, like I'm sure there's the people that are going to poo-poo any move. They're just going to be like, well, you're 2-5. What are you doing? But for them to try to strengthen up any position group, it shouldn't be frowned upon. Like you should, like, especially when you're just giving away 5th or 6th round picks. Like right. I don't think any, like you said, the Kenyon Drake thing turned out to be fine. Like those are lottery tickets. So why not get somebody if you feel like you can be productive on the roster and making an impact?
He came in 8 games. He rushed for 643 yards, 5.2 yards per clip, 8 touchdowns. He's really effective in the second half of that year with Kyler.
First game against San Francisco. He was awesome.
He was. I mean, like, I think there's a move to be made there. And I agree, like, with Jonathan here. It's like, you don't think Jonathan Gannon wants him to go out and make a trade? You don't Monti Ossenfort? It's like, hey, like, I don't think Michael Bidwood would stand in the way of that. I think they've earned that. They've restocked the draft kitchen, if you would, the draft pantry. They have enough young players on the team. Like, you're not treating premium picks, but I mean, like, we can talk about it as we get closer. Like, I just think that's a strange move. And maybe they feel like maybe this is another Slovis, nothing burger of a transaction, because, like, remember that guy rid of Clayton Tune, and you and I were firmly of the mindset, like, well, if Kyler goes down, they need a real backup to Jacoby Brissett. And I still feel that way.
Yeah.
Slovis in a game is an instant loss. It's an instant disaster. No disrespect to him. Like, he's not an NFL quarterback. Like, I think that way about this running back group. It's like, could you go get somebody maybe that can help supplement this run game? They also, like, the biggest kind of elephant in the room right now, and Bam Knight's a little bit bigger. They don't have a bigger back to complement now Kyler, and that's a problem. Whereas like Jacoby clearly didn't need that, save for the failed fourth down against the Packers. Like he could convert short yardage. Like I don't know, Trey and
Right.
James not being available. That's an issue with Kyler Murray and his size.
I mean, them getting rid of Michael Carter, the smallest running back, makes
right. That's what I mean. It's a
yeah.
precursor to something like
that.
Right.
Right. Where I mean, they trust Amari DeMarcado. They think he's the best back and pass pro. He must have a clean bill of health and be close, to be returning and taking on his role, if not more. And then Bam Knight, they liked what they saw. I thought, the stats weren't going to tell you that, but I thought they ran the ball relatively effective, like in the new way that they've been playing offense, where it's been pass first.
Agreed.
The last game that they played in a loss to the Packers. So, yeah, it's Michael Carter. Like I said, people probably would have lost their minds over this like a year ago or even a couple months ago, but now you've seen he hasn't been able to make the same impact. And then Darren Hall, I think you realized even with the opportunity of DBs going down, hasn't been able to find his way onto the playing field. So a couple nothing burger moves, you wish him the best. And I think that there's a really good chance that they return to the practice squad and you could find yourself, seeing the rest of the roster gymnastics play out with, Walter being thrown on the active roster. Maybe they do keep 7 defensive linemen just in case, because Walter is still trying to find his sea legs. As far as the NFL level, guy hasn't played meaningful football, as we talked to Fran Duffy, since December. So it's you got to have some sort of safety net here as you start to reincorporate some players.
Yep. We're coming back right around the corner. Bo and I talked the state of this franchise, both Kyler Murray, Jonathan Gannon. What's at stake as Kyler Murray, per Adam Schefter, is poised to start against the Cowboys. That's coming up. Hit that like button. It's PHNX. But first, I'm going to talk up my favorite ticketing app. It's our friends at Game Time. I'm going to tell you right now, I told Bo this, I told Noah this. Here in sunny Tempe, Friday night, went to Mullet Arena for the first time. I'd never been to Mullet Arena. Fantastic. First class. Got tickets. It felt like I was stealing. They were so cheap. To WWE SmackDown with myself, my beautiful wife, our 2 beautiful kids. We were at Tempe. We were at Mullet. And we were enjoying some pro wrestling. We got 4 tickets. I'm going to tell you right now, really good seats, under $40 a ticket. Unbelievable. I told the story about I went away from Game Time. My son's big into pro wrestling. I went away from Game Time in June. It was the worst. I barely recovered financially. Financial ruins. Thankfully, Game Time has my back, has yours too. Right now, take the guesswork out of buying tickets, friends. With NFL tickets, we got ASU, U of A, basketball, hit the hardwood right around the corner. Again, download the Game Time app right now. Create an account. Use that code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Again, $20 off. PHNX is the bonus code. That would have paid for half of one of our tickets on Friday. But I've been a customer for far too long. I don't get that $20 off, but you can. Create an account. Redeem it right now. Tap ticket. Go download the Game Time app today. Lowest ticket guaranteed.
We got a brand new partnership, and it fits together unbelievably well. It's the husband and wife law team, serious injury, wrongful death. They're getting in on it. 602-783-8841. You got to do your research. Accident, serious injury, lawyer you hire, it matters. It matters big time, right? Especially when you're trying to, you're expecting a check, you need a check. Turn to the husband and wife law team. Mark and Alexis Byer, the husband and wife law team. That's where they come in. They built their practice right here in the Valley, raising 8 kids in Phoenix, dedicating their entire firm to helping Arizona's through life's toughest moments. We've all been in Iraq before, and you always like, where do I turn? What information do I need? Who's going to be able to take care of me? They're focused, the best outcome, and it's not just the firm's bottom line. Hundreds of years of combined trial experience, multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death. They're part of less than 1% of Arizona lawyers recognized by the state bar for level of expertise that they hold. If you suffered a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first, 602-783-8841, or visit husbandandwifelawteam.com, 602-783-8841. Husband and wife law team, the name you know, the team you can trust. check them out. I remember they had Dennis Gardeck running on their team at one point. Remember Dennis Gardeck was on the husband and wife law team commercials?
I've seen their billboard. They're a staple here in the Valley. I knew, like, even before we announced that partnership, I'm like, oh yeah, I know those people. Like, yeah, you can trust them. Get in contact with them today. We're keeping you in contact with the very latest with regard to the Arizona Cardinals. And it feels like the calm before the storm. I was talking with somebody yesterday. Hit that like button if you would, become a supporter. And they said, Johnny, I like this regime. I like Kyler Murray. I've been pro Kyler Murray. I do think he needs to play. But they just flat out told me, like, if they lose to the Cowboys after 15 days off and the Cowboys just got boat raced by the Denver Broncos, they can say whatever they want. They can come out. They can be proactive. They can make a move at the deadline. If they lose to Dallas, it's over for me. It's over for them. Like, they will not be able to regain my trust. And in a weird way, like, I feel like that's the consensus right now with the fan base. A lot of people are already out on this regime, and we certainly know that Kyler has his detractors out there. But I do believe, like, there's something about Monday Night Football against a team like Dallas, and if you get embarrassed or you have another meltdown, playoffs be damned, like, people are going to be like, okay, we're ready for the next chapter.
Right.
Which doesn't include all you people.
Yeah. It's like getting in a series finale, kind of everything like cleaned up and you get an ending to it, right? It's not a great ending, right? It's a tragic ending with people losing their jobs and you having to move on from a player that a lot of people were in the corner of and wanted to see succeed in Kyler Murray, but it would kind of like, it would tie up a lot of like loose ends and be like, okay, well, this seems to be the precursor to change in the offseason, because despite, this organization struggles throughout its history, and of course, moved to the desert in the late 80s, like they've become, a punching bag, haven't been relevant, but in prime time in these big games, they even, get their fair share of wins over the Dallas Cowboys. And what I witnessed yesterday was a very beatable Dallas Cowboys team, a team that's very flawed, especially on the defensive side of the football. And when they can't, generate any offense, they just don't have a shot. They can't win. And you also have to keep in mind that Denver is a very buttoned up team, a team that's, really well run, really well coached, and they really executed yesterday, kicked the crap out of Dallas. They had Milton in there throwing passes. Dak Prescott got pulled from that game.
It was over at the start of the fourth quarter.
It was, but like we remember all the memes, like the sad Dallas fans in the stands from the Cardinals beat down to them on Monday Night Football. I remember a couple times I feel like it's happened. I mean, Kyler Murray is looking to improve to 10-0 in that stadium in his lifetime. Like that's something that needs to happen, because a loss would just further the point, hammer it home that this iteration of the Cardinals, it's done. Like, it would just continue to throw more dirt on them.
Well, and like Dallas hasn't lost 2 in a row this year. They've gone loss, win. Then there's a tie mixed in, but they haven't lost 2 in a row. And they're not a great, but like everybody knew before the year, like Dallas was not supposed to be a good team this year. Right. We all knew that the defense was bad. We all knew that they had a distraction with the Micah Parsons situation. Dak was coming off an injury, and offensive line we thought wouldn't be any good. And then Clayton Adams had something to say about that. Like, Brian Schottenheimer, I think, is playing with house money, because he's not going to get fired, right? And this team's, even though they're losing every other week, I think they're exceeding expectations. They're consumable. The Cardinals, we made this argument 2 weeks ago. They're the biggest disappointment, I think, in the NFL right now. Like, injuries notwithstanding, like the Ravens have a built-in excuse to be whatever they are, 2-5. Right. Lamar hasn't been available. They lost Justin Matabuke. Like, they lost real players. I mean, like, I was texting Bo before the show. It's like Cardinals are going to feel the best version of their defense on Monday Night Football. There's Darius and Walter Nolen and Will Johnson. We expect Garrett Williams and Buddha's going to be out there, and Mac Wilson Sr. It's like, hey, it's the whole gang. And I'm still not very confident. I still look at the Cardinals. They're an underdog in this game, according to Vegas, at +3 in Jerry's world. And to me, it's just like this is the only kind of time post-bye where you can get people to kind of wash the bad taste out of their mouth. Because it's been, we're not going to sugarcoat it. This has been about as depressing of a football season as I can remember. I mean, like the last year at Cliff, at least you were coming off playoff appearance, And, it was before Kyler blew out his knee. Like, you felt like they could turn the corner.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the first couple of years of the JG era, you were building. Now it's like, we are 2 months away from, I think, this being potentially blown up. And that's why we put it in the show title.
Right.
Like, playoffs be damned. Like, it's up to Kyler and Jonathan and Monti Ossenfort now to dictate whether or not they deserve to stay here.
The time was a couple weeks ago for this team to get going, and they didn't, right? I mean, they had some performances where they scratched, they clawed, with the backup quarterback who was playing it, unfortunately, at a higher level than the starting quarterback, was able to spark this offense. And then, the fourth quarter defense, you couldn't hold on the leagues, and it's been a 5-game losing skid. And even with the wins that they had back to back to open the season, they didn't feel like wins. And this isn't like just, we get a lot of crap for saying we're negative, but it's like there hasn't been very many positives from this team from start to right now.
Right.
So when you look at this and you see, the success from Kyler Murray against the Cowboys, and then the Cowboys, how poorly they played yesterday, sure, against a good team, but like they just look very flawed. Like, if there was an opportunity, it's right effing now. Like, if you're going to get any spark at any point during the season, it has to come right now, because otherwise it already feels like the season has slipped away. It's going to be gone. Like, I see Bees in here in the chat, and Bees is one of the more positive people we have that watches the show. We love Bees. He's like, I think he said, I don't have any kind of expectations any longer. You don't know what to expect. If you have to come out and put your best performance on display on Monday Night Football. You have to. Like, you have no excuses at any point. Like, they had no excuses a couple weeks ago. They'd come off Thursday Night Football. They got the weekend off. They got extra days to prepare and lost to the Tennessee Titans. So it's like, I don't know, to not know what to expect. Yeah, it is just you have no clue which team's going to show up, where they're going to fall short, and what's going to be successful. Like, there hasn't been enough of a track record, at least on the success part, to say, hey, I know that this will work for the Arizona Cardinals in this upcoming game against, one of the worst defenses in the league.
Well, they just don't do anything well. And, like, they're a difficult watch. It's like the trifecta. They don't do anything well. They're a difficult watch, and they lose 5 in a row. I mean, like, what do they do well? They don't run the ball well.
Right.
They've got inconsistent quarterback play. The offensive line has dramatically taken a downturn. Their young players are kind of flailing around, middling players, Darius and Marv. And it's like, we get excited about a player, they exit via injury. And then on the flip side, it's like they can't rush the passer suddenly. Mac Wilson Sr.'s regressed in his new role, taken over from Kazir White. Budda Baker does not look the same, right? I mean, Jalen Thompson's in a contract year. I mean, it's just, there are, you could probably count the positives on this team on one hand. And then, like, you couple all that with, like, hey, guys, you have one of the worst records in the NFL, and you've had 3 years to do this. Like, these jobs aren't grandfathered in. This isn't an evergreen role, guys. Like, you lose 6 in a row with a predominantly healthy team in your third year. It's like, you're done. You're done. Like, they lose to the Cowboys. Like, we're going to be coming on this show every week talking about, like, who are the hot coaching candidates? Who are the hot GM candidates? Who are the people? Like, I don't have an idea as to, like, what Michael Bidwell is going to do today. Like, I can tell you definitively, like, I know he wants to keep Jonathan Gannon and Monti Ossenfort, that he respects them, and they've been a breath of fresh air. And I love what they've brought off the field. But, like, this is just from the optic standpoint of trying to get your fan base to buy in. Like, this season is a lost season. They're going to look back at this, barring a miracle run, as they blew it. And why did they blow it? And is it personnel? Is it coaching? Is it a combination of both? The sad part is, though, they blew the end of last year. They started 6-4 and finished 2-5. That was their kind of mulligan, where it's like, okay, you're learning on the fly, and you couldn't seal the deal, and you lost in Charlotte, you lost at Seattle, and you lost at LA. It's like, okay, learn and correct those. You then don't get to go into year 3 and say, actually, we're still learning how to win. If it's taking you this long, when the McVays of the world do it in year 1 and the Bruce Arians of the world, right? Like, typically, you see what's happening in Indianapolis. Like, Steichen is doing it on his last stand. Like it either has to be what he's doing right now or he would have gotten fired. We all assumed he was getting fired. He had a better record than Gannon. So like, why are we sitting here and talking about like, well, even though Steichen was supposed to get fired, like I saw somebody here locally in the media say like before the show started, something to the effect of like, Cardinal fans want heads to roll, but Mike Tomlin just lost to the Green Bay Packers. I guess they should fire him too. It's like that doesn't. Number one, it doesn't make any sense.
Guy. You lost the plot completely.
Mike Tomlin wins 10+ games every year. Jonathan
He hasn't had a losing season his entire career. He hasn't had his losing season his entire career. He's been in that seat since Bill Cowher left. He's got a Super Bowl. It's not even close.
It's in the playoffs every year. He goes to the playoffs. It's like we better not.
You need to tell me who said that after the show. That's an embarrassing take.
It's a really bad take. If you guys missed our conversation with Adam Hogue, CHGO All-City draft or NFL analyst, it was just like he went through this with Eberflus last year. Like, I don't want to come on this show and be like, fire Jonathan Gannon.
Right.
It's a terrible vibe. It's been on our show twice. He's spent hours with Bo and I. But we also have too much respect for everybody who watches the show and been like, you guys this will be fine.
Right.
This will work out.
Right. They talk about the opportunity at hand. It's like you tell me that the Cowboys haven't lost back-to-back games all season long. They beat the Giants and they beat the Jets to avoid that. I mean, those are some bad football teams.
The Cardinals are bad.
Their best win was against Washington, and they won handily. Like that game was over at halftime. Like Dak in the offense, they looked great. CD returned in that game. They looked really good, and then they came out and they just looked terrible against Denver. And I completely agree. Like Denver is one of the more solid teams in the NFL right now. So it's tough to say, hey, like, well, that could be the Cardinals, but Cardinals they have no excuse to not have their best performance of the season, especially offensively. And then what they're returning on defense, like you can't have this fourth quarter lull. You'll have no excuses. You have nowhere to run. If Garrett Williams is back in that lineup, which we're expecting, and you're getting the rotation of two of your two first rounders in the last 2 seasons, and you can't find somebody to make a play, like, like it officially it couldn't be more over.
But guess what? If they beat the Cowboys, which they should do, I'm going to pick them to beat the Cowboys as the last stand. This is a spoiler alert for Friday's show. I don't know what the score is going to be. I'm going to pick them to be
2.5 point spread right now. Right. Cowboys are favored by 2.5.
I'm going to pick the Cardinals. If the Cardinals, this is how easily this is correctable. You play the Cowboys, you beat the Cowboys. Then you go to Seattle and pull something down deep and beat a team that has smacked you around for 4 seasons that you have never beaten. And then you get the fraud 49ers who have no players left at home in 2 weeks. Like, those are 3 winnable games. You could be 5-5. And then you turn around and you get Jacksonville, and it's like, okay, we got a little bit of mojo here. But guess what? If you don't do this,
don't do this.
But what I'm saying is, like, I'm not building excuse. Like, I see people saying like strength of schedule. It's like, no, you sold us a false bill of goods saying like this Cardinal team, we feel great about our team. We should kick ass and take names. I'm paraphrasing. We have all this talent. We spent all this money. Then go win a flipping game. I don't want to do I think the Cardinals are a bad team? Yes, I do. But do I think like these teams are unbeatable? No.
Right.
But if you can't beat these teams, why should we do this all over again next year?
Right.
If you can't beat Mac Jones and Sam Darnold and a bad Cowboy team and Trevor Lawrence and whatever the hell's going on with Atlanta, like what do we do? Like, guys, what are we doing here? I don't want to sit here and spoon feed people 5-12. Like, if a couple things bounce our way next year, we're good. No, we're not doing that.
If they completely change who they've been in 1-score games.
Yeah.
If the truth becomes the opposite, then yes, it would pan out very well for them.
Absolutely. Terabad saying that's literally the dumbest take ever. They are more likely to end the season on a 15-game losing streak. I just said they're a bad team. My take is I don't want people baking in excuses like these are unbeatable teams. Like the Cardinals is currently constructed should be able to beat some of these teams.
Right.
So my point is, absolute terror bad, is that it's a further indictment of them if they lose to them. Like, they may not be favored the rest of the way, but like teams that are underdogs win every week.
Right.
That's the point I'm making. And I agree with you. I don't think this is going to change. I think even if they were to win this weekend, like their identity is broken. I don't know what this team is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. We got, of course, the quarterback conversation that continues. Kyler poised to return to the lineup. Let's get more into that conversation on the other side here, PHNX Cardinals.
Man, even though the Cardinals didn't play this weekend, I'll tell you what, there's no better time spent with our friends at Rally House, the go-to spot to shop for all of your favorite local team gear with tens of thousands of products to choose from. Shop one of their 3 locations, Tempe, Mesa, and of course, Glendale, which is my favorite. Our live show is from there. Hoping to do more live shows here in the future. They've got drinkware, coolers, socks, jerseys, like literally every jersey that you would want. They've got it. And it's not just Cardinal gear, Suns, U of A, ASU, Diamondbacks, whatever you're looking for, they'll take care of you on game day and beyond. Find your local Rally House today for the elite vibes and the great pricing, by the way. Shop their entire product assortment online if you're not in the area, but go check out one of their 3 locations, including our friends in Glendale. Scan that QR code on the screen. Check them out today, rallyhouse.com.
Rally House, unbelievable. We got a haul here for the studio, and I think Noah made off with 90% to 100% of it. It's now in his closet. Johnny, you get nothing, and you'll like it. But look, if you want to go to Rally House, of course, you need a checking account. Go spend big there and get the perks off of said checking account. It's the My Style checking for your lifestyle. For Mountain America Credit Union, Mountain America Credit Union is giving you the perks that you deserve and can enjoy from your checking account. It's not just paying a maintenance fee like most banks make you do. It's the credit union that's giving back to you in restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offers on travel and events, and so much more. What else do you need? I don't think you need much more. How about Mountain America Credit Union as your banking institution? Make MyStyle your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply for Mountain America Credit Union's MyStyle checking account.
Hit that like, become a supporter. We have a bunch of graphics we need to get to here. And they're, I guess, like, it can kind of be gross charts, but not really. It's just kind of like sad boy stuff, sad boy and girl. Let's check out Jonathan Gannon's post-buy record. Is this fair? I mean, somebody told me like John Harbaugh was like 15-3 post-buy. And then I'm like, what's JG post-buy? He's 0-2. In those 2 games, the last 2 years, they have not been overly competitive. Points per game, they scored. It was like the first year it was 45-28. He lost in San Francisco that game where McCaffrey had like 5 rushing touchdowns. And then last year, it was the 16-6 game, which really was the downfall. You could make an argument of this team after starting 6-4. But 0-2 record, 17.5 points per game versus a robust 30-plus points allowed, Bo. So, again, it goes back to what you mentioned earlier. It's like extra time with this staff, unfortunately, and we're only going off of the data and the results and the resume that they give us. Extra time does not equal a better product.
Yeah, the points per game is pretty skewed, as you mentioned. It's like you got the offensive numbers way down, the defensive numbers out of this world way up.
Yeah,
because of giving up a 40 burger to the San Francisco 49ers in year one with one of the more undermanned rosters. So it's a bit too sample size for me to say like, hey, they suck coming out of the bye. But there has been, like, have they been the most crisp put together teams to start seasons? Like, if you just look at long layoffs in this team, you don't see.
It's a great point.
Like how well they haven't played their best brand of football. Like they're a team that I think trends the right way by playing. And like you saw last year when they had like their best run under this regime was when they played a bunch of games together and they found it towards the end of before going into their bye week in week 12, 13 last year.
Yeah. I mean, they had that stretch where it was like they beat the Chargers and the Dolphins and the Jets and the Bears. And
Yeah.
they're really holding on to that because that has been the only sustained period of success. I also want to point out, I do think it was a tough weekend for the Cardinals. Let's take a look at the bye week blues here, Noah, man. And again, you could say I'm reaching, but I think these are all things that could be an indictment. I mean, the Titans are the biggest joke in the NFL, especially now that the Jets won a game. Like the Titans are, without Brian Callahan with them, like they no-show games. I think they had like one close game earlier this year where the Broncos like fudged around and still beat them. And that game wasn't competitive. But like most of these games, Rams, Colts, Texans, Raiders, Patriots, Colts, they're getting blown out. And then they beat the Arizona Cardinals at home. And I had a lot of people, when I said it was an indictment of the Cardinals, they're like, well, the Cardinals dominate. They lost the game, though.
Right.
I mean, it's just, if we are in a position where Jonathan Gannon and Monti Ossenfort are fired, it will be because of the Titans game. The Titans game will have been the linchpin on the grenade that blew up this season, Bo.
Yeah, it is the biggest, largest stain on this current regime that they can't remove right now. Like the only way they remove it is Herculean effort. They have to like restitch the entire shirt. I mean, it's unbelievable, like how bad of a loss that was, just because it's a weekly reminder. And now you've got, Mike McCoy. He's cosplaying as a head coach and has no business doing that. We know that, watching him run the offense here for 7 games. It's terrible because it's like you could right now, the Arizona Cardinals, instead of being 2-5, could be 3-4. And with a chance to, with a good performance, being 500 and being right where, most teams wouldn't mind being. But now it's like your back's up against the wall. And all you have to do is like, you don't have any excuses. You just have to win football games. Moral victories died a long time ago. So that is salt in the wound week in and week out. And it will continue to be, and you'll look at them and they're going to be picking at the top of the draft. And you're going to be like, they should have had a defeated season. Like this should have been
like, who'd they beat? Oh yeah. The DeMercado game.
Yeah. Or the Rabbit Taylor Demerson game. Or the Drew Petzing game.
Or the Jonathan Gannon game. Let's take a look real quick here. I'll rapid fire these. Packers won, but Micah Parsons through roughly 3 quarters was neutralized, was not on the box score against the Steelers last night. Old man Rodgers, he did get home for a sack late in that game. And when the Steelers had to become one-dimensional. But the longer we get separated from that Packer game, the more of just the coaching malpractice that went on with the Cardinals. And the fact that they left Jonah Williams on an island against Micah Parsons and made 0 adjustments. I mean, it's the biggest reason why, like, if they wanted to fire Drew Petzing during the bye week, I would have understood it, even with the point total improving. I mean, like that, they allowed Micah Parsons to wreck their game. And then you watch, like, I'm calling the Steelers like competent offensively by comparison. Like the Steelers, like, no, we're not going to let this happen.
Right.
That was frustrating last night watching that because I'm like, oh, let's see if Micah can carry this over. He wasn't on the box score for 3 quarters.
Yeah, it like anybody else can beat us, but not Micah Parsons. That's usually how you deal with game-wrecking players like Micah Parsons. You need to give special treatment to him. You can't just be like, oh, he's just any old, average Joe pass rusher.
Right.
Up next, D'Amico Ryans and the Texans exposed the 49ers with a convincing win. You look at the Texans, they have been a team that's been on the struggle bus consistently, I would say, for like the calendar year, right? They, like, offensively, they've had their struggles. Like, when you look at where they are, they've scored about the same amount of points as they have the exact amount of points as the Arizona Cardinals through 7 weeks as well, 153 points, but they were able to put up 26 on this Niners defense in a decent win, and they were able to shut down Mac Jones in that offense.
Yeah, disappointing. Cardinals are going to have that's going to be a must win for a lot of different reasons when the Cardinals welcome San Francisco in a couple of weeks. We mentioned at the top of the show Dallas being blown out by the Broncos. I don't love that for the Cardinals. I think Dallas is going to play much better on Monday Night Football. And then lastly, Cardinals remain 9th overall in the draft standings, but they are, Bo, at the timing of this show, one of, I believe, 5 teams with 2 wins. Right. So the Cardinals' strength of schedule is strong. So if you're in the camp or this season continues to go down the toilet and you want a high draft pick, a lot has to play out. I think Baltimore is going to continue to stack wins. We'll see what happens with the Miamis of the world. But I mean, like, if Cardinals finish the season with like 4 or 5 wins, like they will be picking top 5. And then that will, lend itself to the quarterback narratives and all that. So, but right now they sit 9th overall, Bo.
Yeah. You win a game and you distance yourself from the slop of the NFL, right? I mean, you look at the 1-win teams, you've got New Orleans, you've got, Tennessee, you've got the Jets, and you got a couple 2-win teams. Like, you get to 3 wins and you're kind of like in the middle. You're sure it's like football, NFL purgatory, and that's sometimes not a great place to be. But at least at this point in the season, you can't say, well, we're destined to be picking in the top 10 come April. Nobody wants to be there. Like, you just don't. I know at the end of the season, you're like, well, maybe they would benefit more from losing than winning. It's like, that's just a disaster class of a season that nobody wants to truly endure to get a high draft pick. We did do our mock draft, by the way, on Friday. People would say at least we're lukewarm on it. I don't understand that. I thought we cooked.
I really liked it. I loved it.
No, what'd you think? You saw it afterwards. Do you think we cooked?
Mid.
Wow, you're fired.
I don't know what more people want. The guy who's probably gonna win the Heisman Trophy,
right?
6'5", got him, fell to us, and then we also were able to flip Kyler Murray for a first and just started stacking just elite players. So
yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. You guys, let's get cute. Let's take a guard. Let's win 5 games. Take a guard. Maybe another safety or corner. All right. So we got a lot to talk about pertaining to Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett, Bo, as it relates to this team, because Adam Schefter reporting this week, Kyler Murray is expected to return, and then not that we needed it, we had a double source this weekend. Like, Gannon's all in with Kyler Murray, so we'll put that out there on this little fanboy pod. Like, they're not benching Kyler Murray for Jacoby Brissett. I know there's still some people that think that could happen tomorrow, that he could be traded next Tuesday. They're going down with the ship collectively. The brain trust of Kyler and JG and Monti for the final 10 games, like, that's the group, win or lose. And listen, did Jacoby do some things that were exponentially better from a passing game standpoint? Absolutely. But you also can't ignore the fact that, like, Jonathan Gannon has 1 win out of like 15 chances with everybody not named Kyler Murray or whatever it is. He's got that 1 win. Now, coincidentally, it's against the Cowboys with Josh Dobbs 2 years ago. But, I mean, like, that's something, Bo. So, I mean, I don't know if it's going to matter at the end of it, but they're going to see what they have with K1. Yeah, is it the right move to start Kyler Murray over Jacoby Brissett? We debate that. We give you some insight, some info, some jarring stats. It's all next. PHNX Cardinals. I'll tell you what, I had some jarring stats with our friends at Bet365 over the weekend. I'd rather not talk about it, but thankfully they hooked me up with a slew of bonus bets. Whatever reason, man, I really did you take my advice? That was the wrong move. Yeah, it was. I really liked the Bears yesterday. That was dumb. I'll tell you what, I thought we would see a little bit more fight from a certain team in Dallas, but no, that didn't happen. Didn't happen for your boy, but I'm going to tell you right now, bonus bets are the easiest way to blow through your bets, win or lose. New customers with our friends at Bet365 get $200 in bonus bets when you bet 5, win or lose. Use the code PHNX365, deposit 10, place a bet for $5, get $200 in bonus bets. Again, bonus bets, like myself, can be used. Spreads, totals, player props, futures, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary with Bet365. You got to be 21 years and older, physically located here in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Text NEXT STEP to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.gov, Bo, for more info.
Driving in Phoenix can be unpredictable. From dust storms to bumper-to-bumper traffic, the last thing you want to worry about is your auto insurance. That's why so many Arizona drivers trust Access Insurance Agency of Arizona. For more than 15 years, Access Insurance Agency of Arizona has been proud to provide affordable auto insurance for drivers throughout the Phoenix metro area. Trusted part of the local community, Access Auto helps Arizona drivers get covered with flexible policy options and commitment to working with all types of IDs, driving histories, and license types. With bilingual Spanish-speaking agents at 9 convenient Valley locations, Access is ready to help customers find the right protection and uncover valuable discounts. Access Auto, trusted by the community, rooted in Phoenix, and ready to help. All statements are subject to terms, exclusions, and conditions are applicable policy. In all insurance, the current policy contract language prevails. Coverage is subject to individual policyholders meeting in the underwriting qualifications and state availability. Other terms, conditions, and exclusions may apply.
Big thanks to everybody watching in the chat. Hit that like button, Bo.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we'll get to your super chats here shortly. So we've seen the stats before, but here's the tail of the tape for the quarterback position. Weeks 1 through 5 with Kyler Murray at the starter, and then Jacoby Brissett weeks 6 and 7, Noah. Cardinals offense, here we go. Points per game, weeks 1 through 5, 18.8, Johnny. That's 25th in the league. Yards per game, 26th in the league at 288.4. Passing yards, very important here, 30th at just over 170, and converted just under 40% of their third down conversions, which was middle of the pack, 16th in the league. And then weeks under Jacoby, points per game, 25.5. That was 12th. Yards per game, 10th, top 10 in yardage per game, 365. Pass yards, they were top 5 offense, 274. And then first in the NFL in third down conversion percentage at 57.1.
Jesus. I mean, that third down conversion percentage, all of those numbers are vastly better. I mean, the passing yards per game is the biggest kind of indictment. But with K1, you get the mobility. It just looked different. But again, like, this isn't where if you're Jonathan Gannon, like, you don't want these conversations out there. You don't want to be able to sit there with your OC that you hand selected, Bo, and say, like, hey, why is Jacoby playing better? Like, if you had this kind of reservation of Kyler Murray to be able to run your offense, then you should have moved Kyler Murray in the offseason. Mm-hmm. But instead, they went everywhere and told everybody who would listen, like, this is going to be Kyler Murray's best year. And then we watch it, and it's not good. And then we watch Jacoby, and it's just like, okay, guys, like, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't know. Like, we're very pro Kyler Murray on this show. I do think it's the right move for him to play just to kind of see where he's at. But, like, anybody who is defending, like, the notion that Jacoby Brissett wasn't better, I mean, it's a difficult take for me to take seriously. Mm-hmm. Like, he was way better. But why was he better? Is it because Jacoby's a better player? I don't think that's true. I think it's a byproduct of not a great scheme fit, and you've got a stringent offensive coordinator who also, I think, is in over his head. To me, it's like, this is just a lot of issues for Jonathan Gannon to have to navigate.
Yeah. Now, Sag's saying this, and this is a big argument for a lot of people, saying the play calling was different. I think it was consistent as far as them being a pass-first offense, which it wasn't always, especially early in the season for Kyler Murray when he was in a quarterback. But I think for the most part, it is the same offense that he's running. Like, they tweaked it and stuff, and it was a tweak that they started making in the Seattle game, where it was more, 11 personnel, shotgun looks, throwing the football. Obviously Jacoby had a lot of success. Like, the play action is there with Jacoby, but it's right. That's only going to work for Jacoby Brissett for the most part, just based on, physically how Jacoby's built versus Kyler Murray. Like, Jacoby Brissett's going to be able to drop back, do the play action, and then also be able to know where, to go with the football. But I think for the most part, like, Kyler Murray, him in like a pass first offense, and then also, is he going to be able to do the similar things as far as what we've seen success from Jacoby Brissett and sticking in the pocket with the ability, more of an ability to evade whatever rush may come down on him. Like, you would hope that that's the one thing, like Kurt Warner said, like, you're not just going to change who you are as a quarterback on a dime, just because that's what's been successful the last couple of weeks. But I think it's essential that Kyler Murray does stick in there and try to make those throws, because that is undeniable. Like, Jacoby Brissett's ability to make the throws down the field and give the wide receivers their chances on big play passes. It's 11 in 2 weeks to 7 in 5 weeks. And, like, you have to see that. Like, in order for Kyler Murray, like, if he's got a checklist for things he needs to accomplish in order to have like this comeback tail, like, he has to return explosives to the passing game, like He needs to double what he was doing before, because that's what Jacoby Brissett, like, that's falling short of what Brissett did. So you got to see that. Like, Kyler Murray has to be able to match Jacoby Brissett as far as that goes.
I also think, and I agree, I also think, like, I don't buy the people who are of the mindset like Kyler can't do it. I watched him have explosives every week with Cliff Kingsbury and Christian Kirk and D-Hop and AJ Green and Zach Ertz. Like, he could throw the football downfield. I just, for whatever reason, like, he has not been able to mesh with Drew Petzing and what they want to do offensively.
Right.
To the point where it is, I think, probably hampered his development, that he's become like the most consistent check down quarterback in the NFL.
Clipped his wings. It's clipped his wings for sure. And I don't know if it's like, hey, that's a coaching point, and that coaching point was just taken too much to heart. And now watching this offense operate and just what it gives you, especially in third down, like the opportunity to sustain drives and push the ball downfield and put the pressure on the defense, like, it's got to be something that is at least attempted. Like,
yeah,
it has to happen. And like, going up against this defense, like, let's take a look at the Cowboys against opposing quarterbacks. It's like, this is an MVP candidate that goes up against whoever's playing quarterback for the opposition against Dallas. I mean, look at this. I mean, they've given up the most fantasy points in the league to opposing quarterbacks as far as like real stats. Passing yards, they've given up nearly 2,200 passing yards in 8 games. 2.5 passing touchdowns per game. That's 20 in 8 weeks. Just 4 picks. They've given up 220 yards on the ground and 4 rushing touchdowns. Like, opposing quarterbacks against Dallas eat. Kyler Murray, if he gets this opportunity, he's got to match this. What they've traditionally given up week in and week out, coached under Matt Eberflus.
I mean, but Bo, they played the Titans, and the Titans were terrible defensively, and the Cardinals couldn't pick up a first down at the end of that game. I mean, like, if we're going back to the offense that I saw the first 5 games of this year with Kyler Murray and Drew Petzing, I don't want to see that again. And we'll know from halftime if that's what we've got. You're going to be in Dallas. We're going to be doing a watch along in studio. Like, I'm going to tell everybody right now, I'm going to be over whatever this is. And people are going to be, it'll be a cold, dark place in hell on Monday night at halftime for this fan base. If it's like, hey, we're just running it back. But the difference is the state of the Cardinals defense. Like, I don't know if they can stop Dak and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and Javonte and Clayton Adams, who knows all their secrets. Like, I think you're going to need to be able to score 20, 27, 28 points in this game to be able to win with how bad the Cardinals defense is played. My expectations are low. But I do think the Cardinals, I'm going to pick the Cardinals this Friday just because I want to believe, but nothing has given me reason to suggest that Kyler Murray and Drew Petzing are a good fit, and it's going to finally turn the corner. It's going to take Kyler Murray sitting behind Jacoby Brissett for 2 weeks. Like, I've seen that narrative. Like, Kyler Murray has been asked about explosives in this offense for over a year now.
Yeah.
It's been a talking point. Even when they were winning last year, it wasn't a thing they were doing.
The thing here, though, is as far as how futile this pass defense has been for Dallas, is like, when you look at it, it's like, well, there aren't like outlier performances from like Jaden Daniels or big time quarterbacks on their schedule. You know, the biggest passing games have come from against Dallas this year?
Scrubs?
Yeah, some of the biggest in the league. Like 2 quarterbacks that play in New York or did play in New York.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson has the most passing yards against the Cowboys this year with 450.
Unreal.
And then you've got another big game from Justin Fields, 283 and 2 touchdowns in the air against the Dallas Cowboys. And then, you know, you've got Caleb Williams, who went for 298, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions against this Dallas Cowboys defense. And then most recently, Bo Nix went crazy yesterday to nearly 250 and 4 touchdowns. Like, you have to have a get-right game throwing the football.
Crazy.
If it doesn't happen, it's never happening.
No. It's crazy because, like, don't you feel like if Jacoby Brissett were, and this is not like there's so many people that are trying to play gotcha with what I say or what we do on the show, but like, don't you think like Jacoby Brissett, if he played in this game, could have like a bunch of passing numbers based on what we've seen the last 2 weeks? Like, I don't just expect like Jacoby Brissett's arm to fall off. But here's what you should do if you're worth your salt as a coach. You should be able to take Kyler Murray and make him effective against this Dallas defense. And if you can't, get out of here. We want to welcome everybody watching with one of our many streaming platforms here. Overtime. Appreciate everybody. Hit that like button, become a supporter. So many generous people becoming supporters and members here. Hit that join button. Yeah, I mean, like Drew, Kyler, JG, there's so much pressure this week. It's a pressure cooker. Like it is going to be probably the most nitpicked, consumed Cardinal game, I mean, in years, because the national platform, the fact that there are people out for Gannon, there are people out for Petzing, and of course there are Kyler detractors. Yeah. And then just the Monday Night Dallas feel. I mean, it's going to be an environment right now where we're either going to wake up on Tuesday morning and be able to make the argument, okay, they've calmed the waters, they've steadied the waters, Gannon is safe for now, Kyler, let's see if he can build on this, or it's going to be like, because that Tuesday is the trade deadline.
Right.
And it's going to be like, blow this up. We're done with this.
Well, you're up against so much, obviously. Like, no, if you would, with the two graphics, I mean, that you've got the 2 starts from Jacoby versus the 5 starts from Kyler.
Yeah.
You got these. And then you have how Dallas has performed week in and week out against opposing quarterbacks. If you don't have performance that matches what Jacoby has done the last 2 weeks and operated the offense to where it looks like it's can be successful, and then also do it like crap box quarterbacks like Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and Bryce Young and his 200 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys defense. If you can't match that, like those are going to be almost too damning to overcome at this stage in the game. And I know like people are like, it's 7 years and this and that. And it's like, but this right here, it's like a microcosm of all of that with the opportunity to extend some things and have an opportunity to survive in advance. It's right there. Like you can have your best performance against on easy mode, what the NFL offers, if you just go out there and you have the right game plan in place and your guy can exexecute it.
But so here's my skepticism, because I agree with you that it should be
that skepticism should exist.
They could have lost to the Saints. We were at that game. The offense was bad. They could have lost to the Panthers. The offense wet the bed in the second half. They lost, like they were atrocious against the 49ers. They were terrible against the Titans when it mattered. The offense has been the biggest linchpin for this team's, marginal play this year. And then the fourth quarter defense, which, I mean, that's a different conversation entirely. The vibes aren't good. And I thought I'd be able to sit and watch a nice Sunday of football yesterday with my young son and my family. And I was enjoying a Cam Skattebo receiving touchdown. I don't know if you saw this or not, Bo. Of course you did. And I was really excited because there was this play where, and there's my tweet, where Skattebo basically took a linebacker's soul in space. It was a nice wheel route for a touchdown, and he put him on the ground. And he gave him a little oolay, oop-de-doo, and then I tweeted out, embedded the video, Skattebo ankle breaker, my God. And then less than a half an hour later, Cam Skattebo actually broke his ankle in that game.
Oh. Ugly break, like a really gross. You wish nothing but the best for Skatt. Poorly worded in hindsight, but I mean, I don't think anybody can. Yeah, absolutely, Mars. Did Johnny put that voodoo on him? I don't think that there's any question. It's just like the stats we just look like. Undeniably, Johnny is to blame here for poor Cam Skattebo's season-ending injury, gruesome injury.
People are like, delete the tweet. I'm like, I'm not going to delete the tweet.
Why?
People are like, this is your fault.
Yes.
Never have gotten injured. And I'm like,
yeah, Jonathan, it is his fault.
If you know what I'm about, if you know who I am the Cam Skattebo stan. He's been on the show. I love him to death. He should have been a Cardinal. I was enjoying his success because the Giants were playing well. I root for Cam. This team, the Cardinals, couldn't take my joy away on a Sunday. And then it's just like, the air cast comes out or whatever it is. Then the cart comes out, and I'm just like, can we not have one thing? Can I not have one thing on a Sunday?
No joy.
It's like, good Lord, my team that I cover daily has no juice. Cardinals have negative juice. They have negative riz.
Yeah.
Nothing. They got nothing going for them. And I'm like, I'll ride Cam Scattaboo's coattails. I'm excited to see. Can Cam get to 10, 15 touchdowns? He's done.
Done.
And now, make it worse is people are blaming me, and it's hurtful.
Well, man up. If you're going to put the tweet out there.
I'm not doing it. Come on.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. I respect that. I had Cam Scattaboo over 19 receiving yards. You know how long that touchdown was?
18.
That's right. So maybe I played a role in this, but more so you.
Mainly me. Yep. No riz zone.
Everything you touch just goes to crap.
I'm not going to entertain the fact that I think we're either being set up for a complete demolition of this franchise again, or the greatest revival of a season in the history of, certainly since you and I have done this show. One of those.
Nobody, the latter, nobody will entertain at this point, and I get that.
I don't believe it either.
Yeah.
But we're either being set up for that this team figures out how to win, and Kyler Murray and Jonathan Gannon right this ship, or we're done. I use this term a lot. We're done, son. You're done.
It's just, but it is true. Like all the things that we were hyped about this offseason from Skatt, even me, I was excited about Cam, even though you try to poo-poo me and say, like, I don't get, I loved watching Cam Scattaboo play football. And then the Arizona Cardinals, like everything that we wanted to watch is being ripped from our hands. Like we're sitting here with open arms, like we want to love all of you. It's like the NFL is just like, no, you get none of that, and you enjoy it. You get Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos and Daniel Jones being one of the best teams in the league.
This is interesting. Yeah, we'll chat off air. So Mr. AZ Sports quote tweeted Tom Pelissaro's report about Michael Carter being released.
Yeah.
And then Benjamin Albright said a running back is incoming for the Cardinals. The response to Mr. AZ Sports. And then somebody tagged me on Twitter. Mr. Jenkins, thank you so much. Tagged me on Twitter. Didn't specify the RB. But yeah. So, I mean, like, you can't just have two running backs on the roster. So,
we got a trade coming?
Would they trade for a running back, this team, this dead team?
Would. You know how important the run game is? And they've had no run game? Talk about anti-juice. Like, that's the run game this year.
All right. We're an hour and 7 minutes in this show.
It doesn't matter. That's too interesting to overlook. We gotta explore that a little bit.
I'm going to ask you right now. Everybody hit that like button. Breece Hall, Chuba Hubbard. Would you make either one of those deals?
Now, I saw somebody who covers the Jets. He put a draft pick to a lot of their highly coveted players.
Yeah.
He claimed that Breece Hall would only cost a fifth.
Oh, my God. You do that yesterday. I do think any move that they would make.
Breece Hall just had a monster day yesterday, though. And I don't know if the Jets would part ways with a guy who had 3 touchdowns, including a passing touchdown.
Brian's saying we're going to get J.K. Dobbins. That's actually very, very plausible, Brian.
Why would they trade? Why would the Broncos make that trade?
Because R.J. Harvey's has been way more efficient, way more effective. But I could see that.
Why would they trade a productive football player?
Right. A team that's where you need backs. And I get that. That just, I mean, who's J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey? Yeah, and then they got a bunch of dirts behind them. But J.K. Dobbins this year, 5.3. He's actually having a really good year. I mean, like, you could probably get Chuba Hubbard mean, Chuba Hubbard was kind of like a huge bust for a while. He hadn't done much of anything.
They extended him last year, right?
Ew, gross. I don't want that. We had 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns last year. He does fit what they like. He's
Rico Dowdle has made him expendable.
Right. He's 6'1", 210. And he's very similar to, I use the term rhythm carries. He's very similar to James and Trey, where they kind of have to be the guy. And here's where I'm at with this. And this goes back to our main point. If you missed the top of the show, Trey Benson tore his meniscus, had to have surgery. Mm-hmm. Anybody who is saying the guy who's never carried the workload, who carried the workload for one game, immediately got hurt, is going to fix it. You got 10 more games. Like, I think any move should be understood at this point for a day 3 pick.
Yeah.
Trey Benson, at best for the rest of the year, is a complimentary option. Tore his meniscus the game he took over for James Conner.
Yeah. I hope it's not this guy, but it was a team that made a trade today. Roger McCreary went to the Rams from the Titans. I just don't. Tony Pollard does nothing for me.
That's a negative move. That's a move where you somehow get worse by the addition. That's how I feel about that move. If you give up a draft pick for Tony Pollard in the year of our football Lord 2025, go ahead and fire yourself. I'm not. Tony Pollard's numbers this year, 3.9 yards per clip. Yeah. Come on. What are we doing? Tony Pollard and Bam Knight are the same guy. Tony Pollard, Bo, is almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
It's going to be 29. If it's Tony Pollard, I don't want to do a show that day.
No emergency podcast. No nothing. You get nothing from that one.
Slow and old. I mean, of course, with the connections to Tennessee, everybody's going to start dumpster diving.
No, it's so far removed.
You also can't.
They got a former Kansas City Chiefs exec who's now in there. It's like everybody from that front office that Monti was a part of.
That's true. And if you're Cam Ward, Cam Ward's trying to survive. You can't take offensive pieces from him. It's more important for them to win. The Jets didn't their head coach kind of shit on Breece Hall in the offseason? What they weren't the best of friends. Aaron Glenn.
If they acquire a guy that just went off 130 and 3 touchdowns, sign me up. What Kamara, is that in it?
No.
Kamara,
if this team was relevant, you have to be able, Jonathan, you're right. We do need juice. We've never been down worse for juice. If you're trying to sell it to everybody, it's this is an addition for this year and beyond. I can understand that.
Breece Hall is an impending free agent, or he's going to be a free agent to be.
Oh, he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
You tag him. What are his numbers this year? He's having a really good year. 600 yards and 5.0 yards per clip. 24 years old. I'd make that move. 5th round pick. We're over here talking about Bam Knight and DeMercado. 5th round pick. When you're a franchise that you took a blocking tight end with a top 100 pick, I don't want to see you scoff at a Breece Hall for a 5th rounder. I will try to DM Benjamin to see what else he knows, but I thought that was interesting.
So this is from David Newton, who covers the Carolina Panthers. It says Panthers likely to give heavier workload to Rico Dowdle.
I'm telling you.
Coach Dave Canales strongly suggested Monday that he would ditch the 2-game experiment, heavily evenly alternating series between running backs Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard, and give Dowdle the heavier workload.
You could talk me into Chuba Hubbard.
Hubbard last year was given a 4-year, $33.3 million deal.
Never mind.
Let me just check out the details on his deal.
How much dead money is in that?
Yeah, it can't be much as far as a running back deal. 4-year, 33. It's got to be one of those 2-year deals. Dead money. All of it's this year. Next year, you could get out from under it for $4.5 million in dead money.
They'd probably keep him, though.
He got a cap hit of 7.5 next year.
Unfortunately, you acquired Chuba Hubbard, like James Conner's gone.
Right. I think
we always knew his deal was basically a 1-year deal with an option for a second year.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If I'm Monti and I'm JG, you're trying to win. You're trying to save your jobs. You don't have a running back entering the offseason. It's hard to be critical of Trey Benson because he's hurt. But I've been consistent with my take of I think he's just a guy. I think he's a good, nice NFL player, but he's not if he was better than James, they wouldn't have re-signed James Conner. I think he's good. He's solid, but he's not what you envisioned when you drafted him. You thought this guy's going to take that job and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't. And I think he is a rotational running back in the NFL. And then you found DeMercado undrafted. A lot of people thought he should have been cut after that incident with JG and fumbling the football. You need a new person in that room. Now, you want to make sure you don't shoot yourself in the foot. They take on Chuba Hubbard's contract. They still lose. Then you have to deal with that in the offseason, and you're down a draft pick. But I'll tell you what, Bo, if you want to show your fan base that you're not ready to just throw in the towel this year, and you really do think you're close, go and make a move. I'll never besmirch a franchise that goes and tries. It's better than it's a big reason why we're a little bit frustrated with them because they've preached we're good, and they've lost 5 in a row. They need some fire and brimstone here. Do something. But who knows? That is interesting. You got to assume it's not a free agent back. It's not a practice squad guy.
There's just nobody that they could have filled that hole with one of those guys the last couple weeks.
Right, I'm going to DM Albright. You get to the super chats.
Yeah, let's get to those super chats. You guys are crushing it, by the way, with the running back ideas. Libertarian Sasquatch, $4.99. Sorry, but we cut Michael Carter, but not the guy who lost you a football game. It just makes you look like a clown show. Lamari DeMercado still employed, and Michael Carter being sent back.
I think DeMercado is proven to be more valuable, but you're also talking about a third string running back. It's tough, but I think you're right, Libertarian. They have bad optics. This entire season is just the bad optic year. The play, the collapses, the personnel, the coaching. They need a win in more ways than one, Bo. They are so desperate to be able to wrap their arms around anything. That was my argument for Scattaboo. It's Scattaboo would have been that for them, but now he's gone too.
Keeping it going here with the super chats. How about Jack, $1.99? Surely this means a running back in a trade. So that was Jack back earlier in the show when we were talking about Michael Carter being released. You guys following the tea leaves there early on. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not, J.K. Dobbins or R.J. Harvey, but maybe one of those other running backs from Denver. We know that Benjamin is plugged in. But
you're not giving up draft picks for
guys who are third and fourth. Yeah, sure.
You're Bam Knight's better than any third or fourth stringer that you would go get.
Tyler Beatty and Jaleel McLaughlin. Keeping it going with Alphonse, $1.99. Problem, they always suck coming out of a bye. I think Alphonse not just talking about under Gannon, but just traditionally haven't been great out of the bye. Just because they haven't been a great football team for a long time.
They've been bad and sad. Libertarian Sasquatch is back, $1.99. Dak still put up 24 on the third best defense. Dak's going to get his. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens.
Your defense needs to have a better performance than they've had the last couple weeks.
The Clayton Adams thing.
You can't be a doormat for. I don't care how good Dak has been. Dak threw a crucial pick at the end of the first half.
Right.
You have to be able to get off the field against Dak, and that's going to start. The one thing that Dak, I know Javonte Williams has been better. You have to be able to slow Javonte Williams. He can't look like Josh Jacobs. He can't look like Jonathan Taylor, who's best running back on the planet right now.
If you leave that game and Dallas is we're better than the Cardinals, then everybody this season's a failure. Alphonse, $9.99. Thank you so much for your generosity, my guy. They were going to change the play calling regardless. Murray had awful luck and timing with the injury. After Tip got injured in week 5, that sealed it. They had to change and air it out more. I think you could make an argument for that.
I'm more with that line of thinking as far as the offense, and it wasn't just like, okay, Jacoby's in here and this is how we're going to approach things. I think it was trending towards that the entire time.
It was better against the Titans early in that game, and then the second half, Alphonse, they got conservative. But you could make an argument the conservative nature came from just the play calling in general, and they would have gotten conservative with Jacoby. Like, we haven't seen them play with a lead with Jacoby. Mo AZ Cards fan, $4.99.
What do you mean?
In my opinion, what do you mean?
They've had leads the last 3 games going in the fourth
but
quarter.
like the Tennessee game, they had a big lead and
got it. Okay.
sat on it. They were back and forth, but yeah, I get you. Mo AZ Cards fan, in my opinion, no regime change. Fire Petzing. 3 years isn't enough. They need 4 minimum. Starting over would suck. 3 more years of losing. Keep K one more year. Well, I'm sure Ossenfort and Gannon would agree with you. And I will give them credit. Like, this was not your typical rebuild. Like, the Cardinals roster was XFL expansion level bad in 2023. But 3 years in the NFL is an eternity. 18 months, you can get a lot done. Like, they just aren't winning enough.
Yeah, they have to put the brakes on what's being heavily perceived, what is a regression. Can't have that in year 3. Because then you go into year 4 and you say, what are we building off of?
Nothing. Especially when your young players aren't getting better. You're playing Calais Campbell at defensive line. Jonathan Castro, $4.99. Let's say Kyler plays like a top 5 QB the rest of the season. We still miss the playoffs. Do we move on? No.
I mean, your defense would have to it would have to be just, like I said, a doormat. If he's playing like a top 5 quarterback the rest of the way and they miss the playoffs, like, that's giving up a lot of points.
I mean, like, if they win some games and Kyler plays well enough, they're going to be in a really tough spot because they're not going to be in a position to draft a quarterback high. I mean, they would probably do the route of Kyler would be back. People would hate this, but Kyler would be back. Everybody would be back. They'd win about 7-8 games, and then they'd draft an heir apparent, and it would be what you really should have done last year. I mean, it's just they just feel a year behind on everything, but who knows?
Top 5 quarterbacks don't lose games, though. The ball in their hand, they're going down, they win the game. Josh, $2. Chain, Brees Hall.
I have not heard back from Benjamin.
Yeah.
So, but his tweet could have been in reference to, like, they're just going to add a back, from a practice squad. I mean, he didn't elaborate, but Benjamin usually doesn't do that. He's very tapped in with this regime. He knew about Sweat and Milton Williams ahead of time. Cardinals pursued both heavily, and of course, were able to nab Josh Sweat. So, I mean, I guess if Garrett Williams isn't ready and you activated Walter Nolen tomorrow, then you would have an open roster spot. Also, to your point, you have an open roster spot because Slovis needs to be cut. He's on the active roster right now. So maybe this is something that they would get done. I mean, you need a running back for this weekend. You like Michael Carter, cutting him had to have spurred something. It's like, we're cutting Michael Carter because why?
Right. This is a guy we view as a productive football player. He played 32 snaps.
Players loved him.
Right. As Gannon says, he brings the juice every practice. So, and it wasn't like his role would have just have been gone.
I just feel like,
and that's not going to be Joe Blow practice squad player.
And Bo and I aren't hypocrites. Like, if they make a move and it's a good move, we will applaud it as they're trying to compete. Like, I'm not just because
we said that earlier in the show. I mean, I don't think anybody poo-pooed the idea of them.
No, I see on Twitter, people are like, why would they ever trade for a player at this point? I want to see Gannon turn this around. And if they need an asset to be able to go do that, then go do it. As long as it doesn't cripple their future.
It also can't create another crutch as far as the run game. Like, you can't say, well, we got the run game back. We can revert back to the old offensive ways. But I think that there's like, if we want to be successful, we got to be well-rounded offense. Got to be able to run the football.
You're telling me that you Brees Hall's good numbers in the Jets aren't translating to wins. What? We should show that to Drew. Drew's like, look at these numbers that we could get. It's like, well, that team has won one game. Yeah, but look at these numbers. What if we could do that here? Probably continue losing. Hit that like button. Listen, we'll be on high alert if this team makes a trade at the running back position or otherwise. And tomorrow, Bo, is going to be a loaded day. JG returns and could have some activations early in the morning.
Yeah, because the team's going to be hitting the practice field tomorrow. You're going to want to check out, of course, all our coverage. JG talks at 10:30. Cardinals practice from 11 to about 12:15. Then we'll get some post-practice just content for you. Make sure you're following along at PHNX_Cardinals, at Bo Brock, at Johnny Venerable. And then Wednesday, coordinators, and Thursday, Kyler Murray is expected to be back fielding questions from the media. We'll see. We'll get an update, though, as far as this come tomorrow.
I'll go well with this market.
They practice Friday. They also practice Saturday with a little bit of a tweaked week. Right. So, like, if they get somebody in, like, they should have ample time to prepare. And like we talked about with the Kenyon Drake situation, like, that guy came in with no time to prep and was able to, run in the offense.
I have an update from Benjamin Albright. He goes, I really don't think it's Brees Hall. Was just told that a running back is incoming. So the Cardinals are poised to add a running back. I'm going to guess via a trade. I wouldn't you guess via a trade?
How else would they acquire?
Yeah, like a signing of a dirt, but with respect, practice squad guy, like the equivalent of Slovis, the running back. No thanks. All right, well, be on the lookout.
Yeah.
If they try to add one, you would expect that happens sooner rather than later. Get them on the practice field.
Well, clear your schedule tonight.
Tell my wife
we're doing an emergency pod. What running back would justify an emergency pod?
Any starter. Chuba Hubbard, a starter. I would do an emergency pod for Tony Pollard just to tell you how much I effing need to move.
Are you firing it up for Jerome Ford or anybody?
Come on.
No.
Is Jerome Ford the backup in Cleveland?
I think he's like third string.
Awesome.
Because Judkins, they can't give up any running backs. Judkins is hurt.
Those players aren't even like trade worthy.
Yeah.
If you're trading a draft pick for Jerome Ford, you're not. Come on. He's also like 5'10", 210. I mean, if you're going to trade for a back, flip and trade for a running back. You're just you're trading for Jerome Ford or Tony Pollard. You are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, my guy. That you're delaying the inevitable. Like, I didn't think the Cardinals could have any less juice than you trade for Tony Pollard, and then it's really over. That is something where I would come on the show. I guess I wouldn't berate them necessarily if it's for like a nothing burger, six rounder, but
yeah.
I mean, look, we keep trying to close the show. Who's even available? Minus like the Brees Halls, the Chuba Hubbards, and the Kamara. Right. Kamara's not getting dealt. They said they're not trading him.
But they're bad. They're bad at football. They scored 3 points.
Cards are all.
That was on a short field.
I mean, like Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
Gross.
We're not doing an emergency for Tyler Algier, right?
No, we are. What about? What about this? What about this?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
What about this? Ramondre Stevenson
from the Pats. Why would they give up a good player?
He's not good. He's 3.4 yards per clip, and then they got the little guy from Henderson.
He's not little. He's good. But Henderson hasn't done anything, right?
He popped off yesterday.
Okay.
And he's got all those ties to New England.
I wouldn't hate Ramondre.
I wouldn't either.
He's a big back.
I mean, like, Henderson's ready to take over that backfield. Stevenson can catch the ball. I'm scraping, man. I'm scraping the bottom. Who else is Ossenfort, real quick, have ties to? He made the trade with Houston for the Paris deal. Nick Chubb, Woody Marks, Damian Pierce. Probably aren't getting any of those guys. Who else have they made deals with? Who's Ossenfort made trades with?
Tennessee were a couple draft trades. Atlanta, did they deal with?
Oh man, it's gonna be so sad when they don't make any trade, and it's gonna be just the grossest waiver wire transaction, and I'm gonna be that much more pissed with this team.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll be here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, now like the teams that are good want their players. They're not going to be dealing away. That's why it has to be like bad team.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, I would be surprised. Like, I know we mentioned the Carolina thing is like if Dowdle gets hurt, because we know the running back position it's so brutal that you got to have a backup. I mean, Johnny wanted a third stringer. He wanted 3 running backs on this team at one point.
Look what happened. Would have been right. Libertarian Sasquatch 199. Would they play a new running back Monday night? Oh yeah. Kenyon Drake was traded on like a Monday or Tuesday and played Thursday night football against the.
It was a different regime though. A little bit more runway with this team.
You trade for Chuba Hubbard tonight. He's starting Monday night against the. You can't teach him how to do a dive play. He probably isn't in for like pass protection. Chuba Hubbard makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If they're trying to, he's not a starter for them and he's got that contract, but you're saying it's a movable contract. He's 6'1", 210. All right. I'll guess that it's Chuba Hubbard. Can catch the football. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns this year.
Destroyed the Cardinals.
Last year. Yeah.
He stole their soul last year.
All right. Bo and I are going on the record.
Not on the record for Chuba. I don't think that they would give up. Jacobs said, I don't think the Lions give up on running backs.
They hoard them.
Yeah.
Man, this show could go on for hours. All right. Well, hit that like button. We'll be back with any breaking news.
Yeah, drop in the comments. The comments, not the chat. Which running back you'd like to see them make a move for? Realistically, I mean, we don't need Jonathan Taylor in the comments. We need.
We've never been down worse than we're speculating running back deals for a 2-5 team that will inevitably end up being trash waiver wire edition. That's what this team has done to us. They've broken our spirit where people are like, it's like, let's keep going back to like, people want to be excited about this team. People want to embrace what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then Cardinals have picked up Fart McDougal. He's going to back up the Forrest Johnson or whatever his name is.
His yards per carry, man. Fart McDougal. He's pretty good. If it happens, you know where to find the breaking information right here. PHNX Cardinals. Subscribe. Like this show. Does wonders. Gets us around the YouTube algorithm. For Noah and Johnny, I'm Bo. Might talk to you later, but otherwise talk to you tomorrow, 4:30, PHNX Cards.
We all silly like the mayor.